Lola Haaland became the first driver to win at the regular season, marking a new beginning. However, can she hold on to that lead?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As we approach the final destination for round 2 of the regular season, we have Series Red at the brand new Rainbow Stadium here to tear down onto the track and make some new memories, as well as some crazy moments awaiting for our drivers. We have a lot of trucks here with us, as well as some special schemes joining us. As you can see from the distance, as we take a look at the skeleton zombie, we have one of the 50th anniversary Bigfoot schemes, that being the navy blue and gold variant. As well, we got a new body for Thanos, no longer using the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks design. We also have the food trucks here. We have Cyclops, Red Jester, and Kraken. A lot more coming along your way. And we have Monster Mutt Poodle, who is at the middle, who won the previous round of Series Red. But can Lola Haaland take Monster Mutt Poodle to their second win and become the first driver to win back-to-back? Or will it be piloted by someone else who will take that win? What is going on, everybody? This is Rainbow X, and today we're going to be taking a look at Series Red. As we approach the end of round 2, here we take a look at the Series Red standings. Lola Haaland is in first, followed by Nick Pagliarulo, who switched from Brodozer to Jester. Then we have Cyclops Hobbies and Cyclops, Adam Anderson, and the Gravedigger the Legend, Mikey Merton, who is a new debuting driver. He will be driving backwards Bob. We have Hannah Spencer, Nathan Sharp, Charlotte Watson, Jason Craddock, and Xander Love, with Jason Craddock being a new driver joining us here, who debuted at the Steel Titan Cup as well. Now we have for the other half of Series Red, we have Cassie Lyons and Glaze Machine, Violet Craddock and Kraken. This is Violet's first appearance as well. And you could see Cynthia Gauthier in Lucas Stabilizer, Elizabeth Jennings in Monster Husky, Rex Yates in Velociraptor, who was rocking the blue scheme that was used in the first round of the Steel Titan Cup. But now Rex Yates has decided to bring that back for the second round of the regular season. Then we have Joshua Lawson in the Zombie Skeleton, John Hopkins, Muna Al-Salman, Connor Lyons, and Tyler Big Daddy Lane. As we take a look at the track for the second round of Series Red, you can see the dirt ramps have returned once again. Now they are on the side, right beside the green ramps, followed by some crush cars right at the center. As you can see that we are debuting the yellow crush cars instead, which is very interesting to see. We also have our shipping container, our yellow ramps, and we have a wall of crush cars right at the very center, right in front of those barrels, right at the finish line. You can see the dirt ramps as well that are very close to the edge of the finish line. So our trucks are going to have a lot of fun if they crash into those crush cars. We're about to see some destruction here, folks. So be sure to stay tuned for those races. And speaking of which, we're going to be taking a look at the Series Red bracket for the second round. We have, for the very first round, we have Gravedigger the Legend, who will face the Red Jester, followed by Lucas Stabilizer, who will face Monster Mutt Husky. Then we have a Monster Mutt Brawl, Dalmatian against Poodle, and then we have Big Kahuna, who will face Thanos. So let's take a look at the very first race for us. For our first race, we have Adam Anderson and the Legend, who will face Nick Pagliarulo in Red Jester. These two are ready to go. They have not faced each other, but we're about to get things started as they are heading down to the track. You can see both of them neck and neck, big air between the two, and it's going to be a close race between Jester and the Legend. This is a very close race starting off strong. So we're going to check out the replay as we analyze this close finish. You can see both of them getting some decent air. Biggest air so far from Jester. And it is going to be close to call. So we're going to go for the super slow-mo. You can see that big air by Jester. And it looks to be like the Legend took the win instead of Jester. But we're going to go to the photo finish. And it is going to be the Legend who will move on to the second round, defeating Jester, who was the runner-up last round. So they will not be able to compete. And for the next race, we have Cynthia Gauthier and Lucas Stabilizer, who will face Elizabeth Jennings and Monster Mutt Husky. These two are ready to go as they are going down to the track. They go. Husky is in the lead so far. Jumps over Stabilizer, and what almost a save, but she wrecks right at the end. And I'm talking about Elizabeth Jennings, not Cynthia Gauthier, but we're going to go for the replay. And as you saw, Husky jumped over Lucas Stabilizer, not how you expected, but that was one way to finish a race. And for the next one, we have a Monster Mutt Brawl. It is Dalmatian versus Poodle, Charlotte Watson versus Lola Haaland. Let's see which one of these mutts will move on to the second round. And as they are ready to go down the track, you can see Poodle in the lead there. Whoa, what is going on with Poodle? And Dalmatian hits the crush card wall, and we were hoping for that to happen. As you can see, that Dalmatian made a save, and you can see those crush cards right there already destroyed, and that barrel got knocked over. We're going to check out the replay. You can see that Lola Haaland, big distance, and you can see that crush car getting flipped around by Dalmatian. That is one way to start off the first round. And as we approach the final first round match, we have Hannah Spencer and Big Kahuna who will face Tyler Big Daddy Lane and Thanos. We are getting ready for these trucks to head down to the track, and there they go. As you can see, both of them neck and neck. Thanos with the big air, and they're going to tumble over, and there's Big Kahuna who will wreck the entire crush car wall and those two barrels right at the edge. We're going to check out the replay. Look at that sky wheelie by Thanos, but Big Kahuna, though, was the one to finish it off, and they will move on to the second round with Hannah Spencer right behind the wheel. As the starting 8 finishes, we have 4 trucks who are moving on to the second round. We have Violet Craddock and Kraken who will face Swine and Dash, driven by Connor Lyons. Then we have Gravedigger the Legend who will be driven by Adam Anderson, facing Xander Love in the Fire Rescue. Nathan Sharp and Hulk will face Elizabeth Jennings and Monster Mutt Husky. And then Mikey Merton will face John Hopkins and Bigfoot. Then we have Muna Al-Salman in Ranger Rescue who will face Joshua Lawson in the not Biker Zombie, but Skeleton Zombie. Then Lola Haaland in the Poodle will face Cassie Lyons in Glaze Machine. Cyclops Hobbies will face Hannah Spencer in Big Kahuna. Jason Craddock in Earthshaker will face Rex Yates and Velociraptor. There's going to be a lot of crazy matches ahead of you for Series Red, and we can't wait to show you what happens out on the track. So we're going to transition to the next round.
As we transition on to the round of 16, we have Violet Craddock and Kraken who will face Connor Lyons and Swine and Dash. These two are ready to hit the track, and let's see how they do here as they are heading down. You can see Connor Lyons slows down, and he tumbles over, and look at Kraken. They managed to cross the finish line, but they tumble on the final jump. So we're going to analyze the replay on both of these trucks and analyze what happened here. As you can see that Connor Lyons bounces from the track, and he lands upside down, almost making that ramp, but he did not make it. As for Kraken, though, they will move on to the quarterfinals. And then we move on to our next race here. Adam Anderson in Gravedigger the Legend who will face Fire Rescue, driven by Xander Love. And these two are ready in position here. And as we approach the green light, they're ready down to the track. You can see Adam Anderson tumbles over, but he makes a save. And look at Xander Love. He crushes those crush cars, and he will cross the finish line with a save as well on 2 wheels. Let's go for the replay. You can see Adam Anderson did hit the crush car right at the center, but he makes a save, and so did Xander Love as he moves on. As we move on to the next race, we have Nathan Sharp in Hulk, who will face Elizabeth Jennings in Monster Mutt Husky. Elizabeth so far is doing pretty well, but let's see if she can hold on to that lead and hold on to that performance, as she will. As they're heading down to the track, you can see that sky wheelie by Hulk, but they fail at the final jump, and Husky destroys the wall of crush cars and moves on to the next round. Well, we're going to analyze the replay just to see that insane sky wheelie by Hulk. But it was not enough for them to cross to the finish line, where Husky moves on. And we move on to the next race. We have our new driver, Mikey Merton, driving in Backwards Bob, who will face John Hopkins in Bigfoot. Let's see which one of these trucks will move on. And they are ready to go down the track. You can see that Bigfoot is in the lead so far, and Mikey Merton falls into the pile of crush cars, and so did Bigfoot as well. They hit those crush cars pretty well as we analyze the replay. What a crazy crash there by Bigfoot. But can't say the same for Backwards Bob. We're going to transition on to the next race where we have Muna El Salman driving in Ranger Rescue and then facing on Joshua Lawson in the Skeleton Zombie. By the time I'm recording this, it's Halloween, so happy Halloween. And we're going to witness these two race down. As you can see, Muna El Salman at the center area where the crush cars are. And it looks like Joshua Lawson will move on by default. But I think he avoided those jumps, so that might not be a legal move there. But let's analyze this further on the replay. So he did hit the dirt jump at the side of the green one, but avoided the other ones. So we're going to have to let him pass on that one. And as we move on to the next race, we have Lola Haaland in Monster Mutt Poodle, who will face Cassie Lyons in Glaze Machine. Let's see if Cassie Lyons can improve better than her brother. Let's see here. You can see they're both neck and neck as the girls fight it over. And you can see that Cassie Lyons makes a perfect save and she moves on, defeating the defending champion of the first round. We're going to go for the replay. You can see the girls fight it out or battle it out on the track. You can see that Cassie Lyons did make a perfect save and moves on. But we can't say the same for Lola Haaland as she's out. And then we're going to move on to the second to last race of the round of 16. Cyclops Hobbies and Cyclops will face Hannah Spencer and Big Kahuna. Can't wait to see the outcome of this race as we are getting ready to go down to the track for these drivers. As you can see, both of them neck and neck. Decent here from these two, and they're going to hit the crush cars and barrels. What a crazy collision there by these two drivers. And we know who already won, but I just want to analyze this crash even further. Look at the way the crush cars separate themselves on the track. Here's a super slow-mo of this. And yes, Big Kahuna will move on, defeating Cyclops Hobbies, which means Hannah Spencer becomes the second to last driver to move on because we have one more race left. Jason Craddock versus Rex Yates in the blue Velociraptor, and we have Earthshaker out there as well. These two drivers are heading down to the track. You can see that Velociraptor was in the lead there, but look at Earthshaker. They tumble over at those crush cars. And look at that crazy wreckage by blue Velociraptor. This is a lot to take in, so we're going to go analyze this on the replay. Pay attention to Earthshakers. You can see that they tumble at the very beginning at that first jump, and there goes Velociraptor as they crash. As they become the last truck to move on to the quarterfinals, you can see here, 8 trucks are left for the second round of the Series Red bracket. We have Violet Craddock, Xander Love, Elizabeth Jennings, John Hopkins, Joshua Lawson, Cassie Lyons, Hannah Spencer, and Rex Yates all in the same round for the second round of the qualifying or regular season of Series Red. Which one of these trucks will move on to the semifinals? We're about to find out shortly after this transition. Before we move on to the quarterfinals, I have a little challenge for you. As you know by now, 2025 is coming to an end and I have 442 subscribers. My goal is to make it to 500 before the end of 2025, which means that 83.4% of you are not subscribed. So what I want you to do is click that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you guys never miss on any new content whenever I post them, as well as leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. If we can make it to 500 subscribers before the end of 2025, I will do a collection showcase. And with that being said, who's ready for the quarterfinals of Series Red? Hope you enjoyed the little transition there, but regardless, we're going to return back to Series Red, where we have Violet Craddock facing Xander Love in both Kraken and Fire Rescue. And they're ready to go down to the track. You can see both of them neck and neck. Kraken is having some issues there, but look at Fire Rescue with that perfect save. Almost a front flip save as well. Poor Kraken already at the other side. I think they hit the ramp. We're going to analyze the replay just to see there. Yeah, it looks like Violet Craddock hit the top of the Kraken body really hard, and they're laying on the side. Hopefully that doesn't affect their performance in the future, but we're going to move on to the next race. We have Elizabeth Jennings and Monster Mutt Husky who will face John Hopkins and Bigfoot. Let's see which one of these trucks will move on. And they're ready to go down the track. You can see that Bigfoot gets some big air, and it makes a perfect save. So did Elizabeth Jennings. And it looks to be like Bigfoot will move on, but we're going to take a look at the replay and see what's happening between these two racers. As you can see from the replay, Husky had the lead, but look at that big air by Bigfoot. It looks like Husky was about to fall, but they made a really good save. Here's the super slow-mo view. You can see that big air by Bigfoot. Look at that incredible save by Husky, almost tumbling at the final minute. Here is our big air moment from Bigfoot. You can see they got the highest air and pretty much the biggest distance as well. And look at Husky nose down, almost like they're about to hit that ramp there. And we're going to move on to the next race where we have Joshua Lawson in the Skeleton Zombie facing Cassie Lyons in Glaze Machine. Which one of these drivers will move on to the semifinals? We're about to find out. As you can see, they're both down to the track. You can see Cassie Lyons already ahead. And look at that crazy air from Cassie Lyons. What a save. And never mind, they tumble at the very finish line. You can see Joshua Lawson upside down as well. We're going to look at the replay. You can see Cassie Lyons with a crazy save. And then they tumble at the very finish. And there's Joshua Lawson hanging upside down from that crushed car pile. And we approach the final race of the quarterfinals. We have Hannah Spencer and Big Kahuna facing Rex Yates in the Blue Velociraptor. Both of the drivers are coming down to the track. You can see Blue Velociraptor already ahead, and they get the big air, and Big Kahuna's body comes loose. And Blue Velociraptor will move on to the semifinals, leaving Big Kahuna in the dust. Rex Yates with the biggest air of the night. Let's see this again in the replay. Big air, big distance, and there goes Hannah Spencer losing the Big Kahuna body. Here's the super slow-mo view. You could see that big air by Rex Yates, and there goes that body coming off from Hannah Spencer's truck. And Blue Velociraptor will take the lead for the biggest air of the night, and there is Big Kahuna's body coming off as well from that photo shot. After those crazy performances from those drivers, only 4 remain for the second round of Series Red. We have Xander Love in the Fire Rescue, John Hopkins in Bigfoot, Cassie Lyons in Glaze Machine, and Rex Yates in the Blue Velociraptor, who is looking to redeem themselves after their early exit in the first round of the Steel Tank Cup. And we are just moments away before revealing our final 2 trucks who will face each other in the final and determine our second round winner. As we begin the semifinal round, we have our first race in hand. Xander Love and Fire Rescue will face John Hopkins and Bigfoot. Which one of these drivers will move on to the final and face the other opponent? Let's see. And they are ready to go down to the track. You can see Bigfoot already ahead, and there's some trouble going on between the two. And Bigfoot makes a miraculous save, and they will cross the finish line, which means that John Hopkins will move on to the final. Let's analyze this again in the replay. You can see Bigfoot already in a big lead there. He tumbles, but then he makes a one-wheel save and then crosses the finish line, avoiding that dirt ramp. And we move on to the second semifinal. We have Cassie Lyons and Glaze Machine facing Rex Yates in the Blue Velociraptor. Who will face Bigfoot in the final? We're about to find out as these two are heading down to the track. You can see that Velociraptor makes it past with the big air, but it was not big enough. And you can see they're trying to attempt the backflip, but they fall short right as they land upside down. And there is Cassie Lyons, who falls into the pit of those crush cars right there at the very beginning of the track. We're going to take a look at this in the replay. Look at Cassie Lyons. She did not perform that well, and you could see Velociraptor attempting that backflip, but it failed miserably. And with this, we have determined ourselves the final round for the second round of Series Red. We have Bigfoot and Blue Velociraptor, 2 blue trucks facing each other in the final. You don't see that every day, but things are about to get really interesting as we get to see which one of these trucks will win the second round of Series Red. Will it be John Hopkins behind the wheel of the 50th anniversary navy blue Bigfoot scheme that we are seeing right here to celebrate 50 years of the Bigfoot monster truck, or will it be Blue Velociraptor driven by Rex Yates, who driven it previously in the Steel Titan Cup, but is looking forward to earn or redeem themselves after their terrible performance in that first round of the Steel Titan Cup? It has all come down to John Hopkins and Rex Yates. Which one of these drivers will win the second round of Series Red? We are now moments away of revealing our second round winner. You can see Bigfoot already ahead, but then they tumble into the pit, and then they crash onto the side, and look at Blue Velociraptor, which means that Rex Yates in Blue Velociraptor will win round 2 of Series Red. As we look at the replay, this is what helped them. That long distance and that total destruction caused them to win that title, which means Rex Yates in Blue Velociraptor will win round 2 of Series Red. You can see that 50th anniversary Bigfoot scheme, and there is the Blue Velociraptor parked right on top of those crush cars with the body standing next to it as well.
As mentioned previously, this truck ran during the first round of the Steel Titan Cup where they were eliminated early, but Rex Yates has brought it to the second round of Series Red, where they are now crowned winners of the second round of Series Red. Big congrats to Rex Yates in the Blue Velociraptor and everyone else who competed. Let's take a look at the series point standings after tonight's event. Despite the early defeat, Lola Haaland remains in first but is now tied in first place with Rex Yates in Velociraptor. And coming all the way from 3rd to 8th place, all of these trucks are sharing 15 points, and those are Bigfoot, Cyclops, Fire Rescue, Glaze Machine, Gravedigger the Legend, and Jester. Those drivers include John Hopkins, Cyclops Hobby, Xander Love, Cassie Lyons, Adam Anderson, and Nick Pagliarulo. Then in 9th, we have Hannah Spencer in Big Kahuna, and then Mikey Merton, who's now landed in 10th place with 12 points. And speaking of 12 points, we have more trucks with 12 points here. From 11th to 14th, we have Nathan Sharp in Hulk, Violet Craddock in Kraken, Elizabeth Jennings in Monster Mutt Husky, and Joshua Lawson in the Zombie Skeleton. Then all the way from 15th to 16th, we have Jason Craddock, Charlotte Watson, both in the Earthshaker and Mossberg Dalmatian trucks. Then all the way in the relegation zone, we have Cynthia Gauthier in Lucas Stabilizer, Muna Al Salman in Ranger Rescue, Connor Lyons in Swine and Dash, and all the way in dead last with 6 points is Tyler Big Daddy Lane driving in Thanos. So these drivers in the relegation zone are going to have to step it up because points are going to be doubled in round 3. And this is going to affect every single group in the regular season. For example, instead of 15 points, if you win and you earn 15 points, instead of 15, those points are going to be doubled to 30 instead. And there's going to be a lot of point shifting in the series standings, so be on the lookout for some of these drivers to make some big changes here in the series standings in every single group of the regular season. With this, we're going to conclude things off here. Thank you so much for watching this second round of Series Red, and we will see you on the flip side as we transition to the second round of the Steel Titan Cup, the first half of the 128. And with that, take care, everyone.